What is up, Blasianeers and Blasianettes? I'm going to be giving you guys my spoiler-free review for Avengers Infinity War. And if you don't know the premise, it's basically where we finally get to meet the man that the Mad Titan Thanos, who all the movies before this have been preparing us for his arrival. And he is on a mission to get 6 Infinity Stones so he can basically wipe out half the universe. And our heroes, of course, have to come back together and try and stop him. So yeah, and that's basically the premise of the movie. And I gotta say, I've been pacing around back and forth in my brain. How am I gonna talk about this without spoiling anything? I've been thinking for hours and hours because, I mean, like, wow. And I needed time to get my brain all back together because a lot, I mean, it was my experience. It was a lot. It was a lot. When people say I need to go back and watch this again, they were not exaggerating. I mean, like, that is how I'm feeling right now. Like, I gotta see this again, and I want to see this again. So there's an equal ground here. I mean, like, it's about a tie when it comes to I need to see it again, and I want to see it again. And I gotta say, a lot of the characters brought their A game in this movie. And, damn. I mean, like, every time Thanos was on screen, I was terrified for whoever was sharing the screen with him. I'm just like, holy fuck. I mean, like, the safety for all of these characters are stripped away. I mean, like, I was scared for, like, any one of them could go at any time. That's how afraid I was for their safety in this movie. Because it felt like none of them were safe. Which is something I haven't felt in a Marvel movie ever. Like, ever. I mean, like, a lot of Marvel movies felt like had their own kind of vibe, but they all felt the same too. You know, like, since, you know, there's a lot of fun and a lot of humor, and they're basically fun movies. But here, however, this is like on a whole nother level, and this is unlike anything Marvel has done before, and like unlike anything I probably ever experienced before when it comes to entertainment. I mean, like, it is ridiculous. I mean, I don't know. I mean, like, when I rewatched the other movies, I'm like, they've been preparing us for his arrival for quite some time. It wasn't just when they introduced him at the end of, well, in the mid-credit scene of the Avengers, the first one. I mean, they had some hints there before that. You know, like, not to mention the Tesseract in, like, at the end of Thor, like, in the end credit scene for that movie, and it plays a really big role in Captain America: The First Avenger. And holy fuck. I gotta say, my only complaints right now is that I don't have an Infinity Gauntlet to mess around with and have it in the thumbnail. I would be like, "Durr, durr, durr, durr," while I'm talking to you guys about the movie. So maybe better luck next time before the next Avengers movie comes out next year. Maybe I'll have an Infinity Gauntlet for my review on that movie. But in the meantime, nope, don't have one because, you know, some of us can't have nice things. But yeah, like I said, with Danos, I don't think any supervillain has made me feel this way before. The only other villain that may have come close to this is probably Kilgrave from Jessica Jones. Because he had the power to make people do anything he wanted just by telling them, and that's enough to make him threatening, you know, like, to anyone that's in the room with him. You know, like, even Jessica Jones, even, you know, like, I was afraid for her, and I was afraid for everybody. I mean, but yeah, I mean, that's just giving you an example. But Danos is on a whole nother level. I mean, like, he's probably the villain. Yeah, he is indeed the villain. They put him on that pedestal, and he fits in that pedestal perfectly. I like, what? He lived up to the hype for me. Hell, he surpassed it. And my only probably nitpicks is in particular is where a couple characters may do a thing or two that felt a little bit out of character for them. I'm like, I don't think this character would have done that, or I don't think this character would have said this. And a lot of the humor I did enjoy, but there's a couple times where it wasn't needed. Like, if you were to take a little bit of that humor away, it would still be a fantastic movie. But those are my only nitpicks with the movie. Everything else is just delicious. I mean, it's just epic, and I cannot wait to see it again. And I mean, like, it's a lot to take in. It's a lot to fucking take in. I mean, I cannot believe it. I mean, like, it felt like this movie was never gonna get here. Like, just saying the title of the movie alone just gives me goosebumps every time I say it. When they announced the title of the movie, I was like, holy fuck, what a perfect title. And I'm glad it's not called Infinity War Part 1 and Infinity War Part 2. I mean, I'm glad it has its own little title, and then the next movie is going to have its own little title. At first, I didn't like that. Like, why can't it just be kept Part 1 and Part 2? But now I'm like, yeah, I mean, maybe they should have their own movie titles. But, yeah, I cannot wait to see this movie again. It's unlike any movie experience I've ever had before. I mean, like, ever. I mean, I don't think that's gonna change anytime soon when all this hype calms down. It's really like unlike anything I've ever experienced before at the movies. And I'd say you're in for a treat. It's the movie of the year, and if you enjoy the other movies, then I'd say you will most likely enjoy this one. And if you have to, if you were to ask me, do you have to watch the other movies to really to get to this one? I'd say yes, you should, because that way you can be more invested into these characters before it gets to here. If you just jump right to this and only watched Iron Man and a couple other movies and not really watched the whole collection of movies in the MCU, then I'd say you're not going to really invest into what happens into the story as much as you would if you were all caught up, up to this point from the first Iron Man movie and from the first Iron Man movie to this one. And it's ridiculous, like, because when I walked out of the theater, I was really trying to keep really quiet as possible and not really ruin it for anybody. I couldn't speak about spoilers if I wanted to because the wind was knocked out of me, like, where I walked out of the theater after seeing it, and I was just like, what? And when I did want to talk about spoilers, I was really quiet about it. Like, you remember when this happened in this scene and happened with that scene? I was like in the quiet place, like where we have to be quiet before the monsters come out and eat us. But yeah, go see the movie. I cannot wait to go see this movie again. And with that all being said, man, Danos is the real deal. I mean, like, he's a force to be reckoned with. He is the villain in my book. I mean, he is the villain of the MCU. Man, this movie gets 4.5 chair spins out of 5. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4.5 chair spins. And man, cannot wait to see this again. Have I not said that enough already? I don't think I had. But if you guys enjoyed my review, make sure you thumb up the video and quick subscribe if you're new to the channel. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out, y'all.